Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. Hope you had a great weekend. The weekend is over. Monday's around the corner. It is a big week, huge week. It may determine the immediate future for and medium term future for crypto, the stock market, the economy, right? The Fed meets on Tuesday and Wednesday. They're going to announce on Wednesday their rate increase. I think everybody's expecting a 75 bip increase, could be 1%, a full 100 basis point increase. If it is a 1% or higher, expect crypto and the stock market to take a hit. If it's a 75, all bets are off. That's what's expected, right? Maybe we go sideways. If it's less than 75, maybe there's a rally. So keep an eye on that. The other big thing this week, huge thing this week, is earnings. Some big, huge companies are going to announce earnings. That includes Facebook, Amazon, Google. I'm Microsoft, I believe. There's probably a couple others. I mean, there's dozens of others, but those are like the big honchos. So keep an eye on that. If they all report disappointing, Apple I think is in there. If they all report disappointing earnings, we could be in trouble, right, for the stock market. And because crypto is correlated to the stock market, crypto could go down. If they avoid, a bad earnings and bad outlooks, then maybe we can continue the rally. So keep an eye on that, right? There's going to be earnings all week. And then the other thing is the GDP is announced this week. When GDP comes out, it may confirm that we are, in fact, in a recession. So again, keep an eye on that. So big happenings this week on the stock market. And so let's look how the stock market is opening, right? The futures are out and it's flat. So not any indication either way on what to expect this week. It's just flat. And the DXY, that's the other thing to keep an eye open for, right? Flat. So everything's flat going into the week. A big, huge week. So keep an eye on that. So as you know, on my channel, those of you that watch me regularly, right, I've been saying this is like my 12th week doing videos. And since day one on this channel, I've been telling you by the end of the year, a year from now, and 5 years from now, ADA will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin. And by those same time frames, Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. So in essence, ADA and Ethereum are going to outperform Bitcoin by the end of the year, a year from now, and 5 years from now. How's that looking, right? So let's check out our portfolio. Oh, so before we get into it, right, I not only is that my hypothesis, I prove it to you on Twitter. Follow me there at crypto_liberal, and I prove it on here. And how do we prove it? By collecting data. Every week we dollar cost average into all three of those, ADA, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. And we dollar cost average $100 every week. And we've been doing it for 11 weeks so far. So we put in $1,100 into each of those cryptos to prove my hypothesis, right? By the end of the year, ADA and Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin, and ADA is going to outperform them both. How's it looking? How's that portfolio looking? Well, look at that. ADA and Ethereum are already outperforming Bitcoin. And in fact, ADA and Ethereum, if you dollar cost average with me every week, ADA and Ethereum are up against the US dollar. Bitcoin's losing against the US dollar. ADA and Ethereum are up against the US dollar. Now, right now, Ethereum is outperforming both of them, but ADA is severely underperforming, and ADA is caught up this weekend. ADA had a great day yesterday, a great day. So it's not surprising to me that it's flat, and Ethereum is making another move today. So keep an eye on those, right? And so, my hypothesis is being proven correct on a daily basis on this channel. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe, because you know what? More people need to hear this message, right? It's a message of success so far on this channel. We are succeeding where other people, Bitcoin maxis, are sticking to their narrative that it's Bitcoin and Bitcoin only, and they are losing to this channel. They are losing to this channel. So if you're involved only in Bitcoin, sorry, but you're losing to this channel. So, I'd appreciate a like. I'd appreciate a subscribe. I'd hit that bell notification so you know when I'm putting out new videos, because we are making moves on this channel, and some moves are upcoming here. And what we're going to do, because Things are changing. Big moves are already been made, and we might have to take some profits. So hit that bell notification so you know when I'm taking profits or when I'm making new changes to my portfolio. None of this is financial advice. You need to make your own financial decisions based on your own financial situation on what you're doing. But I'm just sharing what I'm doing, right? So, but I'm going to change things up. Usually we dollar cost average in every Monday, but it's going to work better for my schedule going forward if I do it on Sunday. So today's the day we're going to dollar cost average. We're going to put another $100 into each of those three coins, and we're going to continue to track it. We're going to continue to track it on this channel because we are killing it on this channel. So let's put $100 into each of those coins, and this is how we do it, right? So we go to Coin Market Cap. And so Bitcoin, we're going to put $100 into Bitcoin at $22,735.34. We're going to put $100 into Ethereum at $1,608.20. And we're going to put $100 into Cardano at 51.86 cents. So 0.5186 cents. So we follow me on Twitter because I will post how much we're entering into, how much $100 gets us in each of those coins, and we'll add it to that portfolio and we'll track it. And by the end of the year, ADA and Ethereum will crush Bitcoin, right? It's going to crush Bitcoin. So appreciate that. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Because honestly, more people need to hear this message. More people need to be alerted to the fact that there's other cryptos out there that are going to outperform Bitcoin. And it's it's sad that a lot of people just turn to Bitcoin and can't get off that ledge, right? Because there are so many other great opportunities in crypto, and the narrative for Bitcoin, or the use case for Bitcoin, is speculation, and that's it. People expect to make money on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin doesn't improve. It can't improve itself. Can't make changes to the underlying protocol. That all happens in other layer ones like Ethereum and ADA, right? And Cardano. So, those are constantly improving, and there's huge changes coming up, huge improvements to both protocols that are going to spur, a rally versus Bitcoin that is going to rip faces off, I think, right? In my opinion. So let's get into Bitcoin because, that's still the monster in the room, right? Now, if you've been following my channel, I told you this red line was going to serve as resistance, right? And we got real close to it. We wicked up to here on what was that, July 22nd. I think that was Friday. We wicked up. Oh, no, that wasn't Friday. No, July 20th. Sorry. So that was Wednesday. So we wicked up and got rejected pretty close at that red line. And that red line, if you've been following my channel, goes back a year and a half, almost 2 years at this point. So it's served as resistance. It's served as support multiple times over the past couple of years. I'm not going to retrace those steps because we've done it multiple times on this channel. Just believe me when I tell you that red line is strong resistance, and I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be surprised if you've been following this channel that it got rejected right close to that line. And now it's kind of bouncing on this blue line, which I told you weeks ago was going to be resistance, and now it's acting as support. So we're kind of bouncing on that line. So this week, I told you this week is going to be imperative on the direction of Bitcoin. If those earnings come out good, if the Fed doesn't increase rates larger than expected, if the GDP is not as bad as people are expecting, right? Then maybe we break resistance and move up above the red line. If things come out worse this week, maybe we break support and come down below the blue line. But look, there's not much room to play in here before that red line is going to converge with that blue line. It's possible we just keep going sideways in this little wedge here we got going on for another month. Before we get to the apex of this descending triangle, essentially. But I think my inclination right now is that we are going to break below the blue line and maybe revisit 20,000, if not lower, in the immediate short term. And maybe that's this week. That's just my feelings, but I could be wrong, right? And again, I'm not going to get excited about Bitcoin until we break above that red line. That red line is, if you followed this channel, that red line is such huge resistance right now. And I will get excited about Bitcoin when it gets above that red line, holds it as support, we have to stay above that red line for a week, 2 weeks, a month, maybe even, and come back down and test it, make sure it holds its support, then I'll get excited about Bitcoin, because that line has been such a line of resistance and support going back almost 2 years, that it's just not gonna be broken, and we're just gonna be off to the races. It's just not gonna happen, in my opinion. Again, my opinion. So I just want to talk about two more things, right? So ADA, or maybe a couple more things. So ADA had, like I told you, had a great day yesterday, and if you're new to my channel, we follow the ADA BTC chart in our trades, and I told you back here, like, this descending wedge, right? This descending wedge that goes back like over a year, I think. I told you when we broke out back here that now was a great time to get into ADA. And in fact, I made a special video on a Sunday night, just like about this time, a Sunday night 5 weeks ago and I said, I'm moving from Bitcoin into ADA. And I told you at 0.000019 Bitcoin. And well, right now, we're at 0.00002276 Bitcoin. And so that's like what is that, a 25% gain, something like that, right? It's over 20, between 20 and 25% gain. And so if you have moved with me from Bitcoin into ADA, that night I made that video that night, and I told you exactly what I was doing. If you had moved in with me 1 Bitcoin and put it into ADA, you'd have 1.25 Bitcoin right now. If you had moved 2 Bitcoin in, you'd have 2.5 Bitcoin, just by taking it out of Bitcoin and putting it in ADA. People need to hear this message. You can stack sats without trading on leverage. Don't click these people's links and trade on leverage and risk liquidation. Don't do it. You can just take Bitcoin and move it into ADA and stack sats that way. You could have had 25% more sats right now if you had just followed what I did, right? Move it from Bitcoin into ADA. Bitcoin just lies there. It's the girlfriend that just lies there. ADA is improving itself. ADA has the Vassal coming out, sometime soon. And when it does, the scalability is going to just increase exponentially. There's projects just waiting to jump onto Cardano when Vassal launches. DeFi projects, NFT projects, and dApps, and stable coins, and just a crap load of stuff that's waiting to jump onto Cardano once the scalability improves, and it's around the corner. So that 25% increase, that's not what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a 200%, a 300% increase versus Bitcoin, and it's coming. Maybe not by the end of this year, but it's going to be higher than 25% by the end of this year. That 25% return is going to be 50, 75, 100% return versus Bitcoin by the end of this year, I think, in my opinion. But I'm waiting for a 200, 300% return on that trade. It's not a short-term trade, it's a long-term trade. And we're executing on it, right? People need to hear this message. You can trade out of Bitcoin and make more than you're making in Bitcoin. We're proving it on this channel. So give me a like, give me a subscribe. Help me get this message out. So that's ADA, right? We're killing it on that ADA trade. But that's not even our biggest trade, right? That same night I told you that I'm moving Bitcoin into ADA, but I also told you I'm moving Bitcoin into Ethereum. And again, we look at the weekly chart, and this ascending triangle we're in, this red line held as support. I told you this week, the week it hit that red line, get into Ethereum, move from Bitcoin into Ethereum. And what has happened since? Well, only a 35% gain about, right? I told you when 1 Ethereum was worth 0.052 Bitcoin. Well, right now it's at 0.070 Bitcoin. That's like a 35% return on just by moving out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. And I'm on the verge of taking profits. I'm waiting for maybe to get to 40, 45%, and then I'm going to start taking profits. I was waiting for it to get to this upper blue line, right? Wait till it gets to this upper blue line, maybe right below it. I'm going to, maybe at 0.075, I might start taking some profits on Ethereum. And if you appreciate the fact that I brought it to you right at the exact moment that it turned bullish. Now, I didn't tell you 3 weeks, earlier when there was still 3 weeks of down downward action left, right? I told you right at the exact point it hit support. I brought it to you the exact night it hit support and said get into Ethereum and move it from Bitcoin into Ethereum. And since then, a 35% return. So if you appreciate the fact, help me spread the message, because right, people need to hear this, and not 3 weeks too late, because they by then you missed out. Got a 35% gain. If you waited 3 weeks, maybe you probably missed out on 15% of that gain. You know that's not I mean, it's still a nice gain, 20%, if say, but you could have a 35% gain. You need to make the moves, strike when the iron's hot, as the saying goes, right? So if you appreciate that, help me spread the message. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. So that's Ethereum, that's or ADA, right? We're killing it on those. One that we're not doing so great on, right, is DOT. I want to be honest and forthcoming, right? Polkadot versus Bitcoin. I told you, back here a couple weeks ago now, that I was going to get into Polkadot, and we've gone down a little bit. I'm not worried about it. It's still it was a descending wedge that we're in, much like that ADA chart. And I got in at 0.00035 Bitcoin. Right now we're at 0.000327 Bitcoin. So we've lost a little bit. Not bad, right? Not too bad. So I'm not worried about it. It's gonna turn around. And I'm hanging tough on that position. It's my smallest position. I told you when I got into it, it was by far my smallest position. Versus when you compare it to ADA and Ethereum. So one, I'm not worried about it because it's a relatively small position. Two, it will turn around. I'm convinced of that. I'm not going to talk about Matic. I talked about Matic the same night I talked about Polkadot. I chose Polkadot over Matic. My regret. But if you had listened and chose one of them and chose opposite of me, right? I brought both of them to you. I said both of them were bullish. There were reasons I chose Polkadot over Matic. And I regret it. Now I wish I chose Matic, but Matic is up like 50% versus Bitcoin. It would have been my best return out of the three of them. So I hope some of you took my charts the night I brought them and said, oh, I'll spread it around between Polkadot and Matic, because you're making a killing on Matic. But the other one I wanted to bring up is Aave, right? Because I think I'm going to jump into Aave here, and it's going to be more of a dollar cost averaging thing. I want to look at it right here. I haven't jumped in yet. I was waiting for a pullback this week, right? I told you last week, I said, see if it, this resistance, this red line, this upper red line on this descending wedge, see, after we broke it, I said, see if it acts as support. It came down, wicked down to it perfectly. Look how perfect that hit that red line. And it got away from me a little bit. So I think I'm going to jump in here, and we're talking at 0.004 approximately, right? So we're going to keep track of this. After I get done making the video, I'm going to put in a small position, a pretty small position. I really don't have much Bitcoin left to put into Aave, so I'm going to just dollar cost average in a pretty small position. So I'm going to jump in, and we're going to call it at 0.004 Bitcoin, right? I'm tracking it versus Bitcoin. My whole goal is to make money versus Bitcoin, to prove to people on this channel that it's possible to have better returns than you do in Bitcoin, right? And so far, it's working. So if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Help me spread this message. People need to hear that there's other golden opportunities out there besides Bitcoin, and we're proving it on this channel. We prove it daily on this channel. So give me a like, give me a subscribe. Help me spread the good word, right? I hope you're having a great weekend. My weekend's awesome. And the weather's great. Getting to spend some time with family, and so couldn't be better. And I hope you value your time away from work, or if you're not working this weekend, you're getting outside and not staring at the charts, right? And we're in the middle of crypto winter, but it's going to turn around. There's no better place to have your money. I say that frequently on this channel, so I hope you believe it as I do. I hope you have a good Sunday night. We will chat more tomorrow. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Have a good night.